Did you know that the number one motivation for people to start their own business is that they want to be their own boss? I know that's the reason why I started my first business. I knew that I could do it better. I knew that I could be more efficient, that I could dictate my own schedule, and then, of course, I could make more money. And then before I knew it, I was part of a different statistic. The statistic that says that 72% of small business owners are overwhelmed with their role and their responsibilities. And for me, that was putting it mildly. I was working over 100 hours a week. I would wake up exhausted every morning if I got any sleep at all, and I had no life outside of business. Now, how does this happen? If we're also eager to be our own boss, how do we become such bad bosses to ourselves? When I first started, I thought that I knew what I was doing. I had an MBA, I had 10 years of experience as an office manager. I was smart, I was dedicated, and I was a hard worker. So what could possibly go wrong? Imagine my surprise when I realized that everything I had learned and everything I had done did not fully prepare me for the challenge of running my own business. And you know what that challenge looks like, right? The challenge of having to make every single decision, of having to wear every single hat in your business, of taking on every single responsibility, and of holding on so tightly to everything because there is no way that anybody else can do things as well as we do. What I saw in hindsight in myself, and what I've seen in many clients since then, is that as business owners, we make things way harder than they need to be. We don't ask for help. We think that as business owners, we should already know the things that we need to know. And we're even embarrassed to admit that we don't know some of the things that we consider the basics. In our toolkit page, one of our free tools has to do with understanding the profit and loss statement. Now, why do we start with that tool? Because most business owners don't know how to interpret those statements. Now, the thing is, they don't actually ask. I know that back then, it would have never occurred to me to admit that I didn't know what every single number meant. After all, I went to business school. And we make things even harder because we know not only do we think that we should know everything that we should know already, but that we should be good at everything that we need to do. We may have never taken a psychology course, or maybe we took a very elementary one, and somehow we're supposed to know how to manage people. I used to think that I was the best boss ever. And a couple of decades later, I look back and I laugh at what I used to think that great management was. And I no longer wonder why my first few teams were never successful. I've spent the last few years coaching business owners overcome these issues. And one of the most interesting things that I've learned is that most people reject simple solutions. We're brought up thinking that it does have to take blood, sweat, and tears. That if it's easy, then it must have no value. Or if it really were that simple, we already would be doing it. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm Marisa Marseille, and I started this company because I want to share that finding with as many business owners as I can. I want to take on my experience that I've accumulated hands-on and what I've learned by coaching clients so that I can make business enjoyable again for people and, of course, successful. Why? Because I love business. And I don't like it when I see business owners lose that passion that they originally had when they started their business simply because the day-to-day became so overwhelming. The secret to avoiding that is to embrace the fact that learning and taking action in business will never end. If you're a business owner, you have to be a lifelong learner. You just need to be efficient so it doesn't take all of your time to do that. It's like a diet. If you starve yourself for a few weeks or even a few months, you will lose weight. But if you don't embrace a healthy lifestyle, the weight is going to come back eventually and you're going to be in that roller coaster. The same thing happens in business. You have to commit to continuous action and improvement so you don't end up riding the chaos roller coaster and so that you never have to work 100 hours a week like I did. That's the whole goal of M-Dash. We're here to help you in that journey. We're here to make that easier for you. However you engage with us, at whatever level, we're going to bring our experience to facilitate the process for you so you can achieve your goals. Thanks for visiting.